Hello, good morning, everyone. I believe you can hear. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Nigel Silas. I am one of the trainer for this apprenticeship program for FCT. So let's kindly give just a few minutes. Let's say like 2 more minutes. Let's wait for some of our colleagues to join before we commence today's training. Thank you very much. Is Omoshoke on the call? Omoshoke, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, sir.
Yes, I was duly informed that you'll be given an update on the level of things in respect to what is on ground under your supervision in FCT. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I was just informed to give a brief update on what we've done so far or what is
Okay,
available.
okay, thank you very much. So we will commence by 9:07. That is in a minute time. Yeah, it's already time. Uh, I want to say a very big thank you for those that joined very early. Uh, uh, for the for the M5 apprenticeship session. And like I said earlier, my name is Nigel Silas. I'm the operations manager for Rural Farmers Hub, and at the same time, I'm the trainer, one of the trainer for this particular program. Um, at this moment, today we'll be having a new guest. Is one of the mentors for this particular program. In due time, I'm going to call on the guest to come to introduce their company and also do their presentation. But before then, the floor is open for Omoshake to give us a brief update on what they have done so far. Thank you very much. Omoshake, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Emoshikeme OJ. I'm also an apprentice with as everyone here. So the brief updates we have for FCT, we've gotten a site that would be used for the exercise, demonstration exercise. The location is at Kubwa in Abuja. So for anyone that would be interested in coming to visit the site to participate in the exercise, you are all welcome. You can also attend virtually if distance is a barrier. We've gotten the input for the exercise. I was unable to get chili seeds, but we're able to get another seed for this purpose. We got bell pepper seeds as a substitute. Labor will be made available on that day for the exercise. So this is the update we have so far for the demonstration plots. We will need to fix a day for this exercise. I don't know if we would all agree on a particular day we would want this to be carried out. So this is the update so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omoshoke. I think the day that that other related activities will commence on the demonstration plot will be made available on your various platforms, and those that are closed or those that are available can make themselves but those that are free can make themselves available in order to be physically present at the commencement of this demonstration plot. So at this particular moment, I would like to call on our guest, Dr. Aisha. Is Dr. Aisha on the call? Hello, Dr. Aisha. Hello, Dr. Aisha, are you there? Please, just a moment. Please, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up, please. I just want to be sure that we are all on the same page so that it will not look like this a network issue. If you can hear me, just a thumbs up. Just a thumbs up, please. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Uh, yes, thank you. Thank you. But I can see somebody raising his or her hand. Who is that, please? I say a thumbs up. You are raising up your hand. Do you want to say something? I see M. Beck. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Aya, your camera is on to conserve your data. If you can just put off your camera, you can be able to conserve your data to help you to go a long way. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I spoke with Dr. Aisha. In fact, she's just getting set up to start her presentation. So let's give her like some few minutes, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, for her to set up her internet connectivity. But meanwhile, let me just introduce you to what Omoshoke said. Usually, for every research purpose, there is what is called demonstration plot, and these demonstration plots is the first step when you want to do a research. You want to test a particular method. You usually have what is called a demonstration plot for you to test run whatever you have. That is what Omoshoke is trying to set up. And as like she rightly said, most of the inputs that will be used are already available. Uh, what we are left with is just to fix a day so that for those who are privileged, who can be physically available during the the land preparation, they can make themselves available. But for those who are not privileged, they can also join. They can join virtually to see what she has been able to do or what is going on the field. Uh, Before now, I saw Agnes. Agnes raised up her hand. I don't know if she wants to say something. Agnes, feel free. We are waiting on Dr. Aisha. So, Dr. Aisha, if you can hear me, if you are ready for us, please just unmute and let us know. So, Agnes, do you want to say something? Your hand was raised earlier.
Yes, Mr. National, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Speak.
morning, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go on.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So I wanted to say
Okay.
that since we are waiting for, while we're waiting for Dr. Aisha to come on board, we would love to also take an update from him. He can give us an update for Ebonyi State as well. I think we've gotten the one for FCT, so Ebonyi State can also do that. So if Mr. James is on the call, he can give us that update while we wait for Dr. Aisha. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Mr. James, if you are on this call, kindly give us an update on the progress of things on the field. Mr. James, Mr. James for Ebonyi State, if you are on this call, please unmute and give us an update. It seems Mr. James is not with us. So, Dr. Aisha, are you ready for us? . Dr. Aisha. Dr. Aisha, if you are ready for us, kindly unmute. Dr. Aisha, are you ready for us? Kindly unmute. It seems Dr. Aisha is having some challenges to connect. Dr. Aisha, you raised up your hand. Hello, Dr. Aisha, can you hear us?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, Dr. Aisha. Kindly
Yeah,
speak.
yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you, Dr. Aisha. Unmute us and go on.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you very much. Dr. Aisha is ready for us. So at this moment, I would like her to uh, unmute and take it up. Dr. Aisha, the floor is yours. Dr. Aisha, if you can hear me, unmute and speak. We can hear you. Dr. Aisha, you are still muted. You are still muted. We can't hear you. So you need to unmute. You need to unmute. You need to unmute. I think you are yet to unmute. So it seems Dr. Aisha is having some challenges, some network challenges. These challenges are very, very possible. So I would like to I'll take the session. I'll be taking the session. This is an impromptu one. Uh, this presentation for today is going to be interactive. It's going to be interactive. So anytime the floor is open, if you have something to say or you have any contribution to make, you feel free to raise up your hand like we usually do. And the floor will be yours. You may be called upon to make your contributions. Thank you very much. For every agricultural activity to be successful, like let's say, especially in terms of crop production, uh, we expect a lot from the plant or from the seed that we plant. And what do we expect? We expect good yield. And over time, little has been done. Especially for people that are into crop production. You know, when your farm provides the necessary soil fertility, and people tend to give little or no consideration to replenishing the soil, that is giving back to the soil. You can imagine someone that planted or harvested groundnut, When you plant groundnut and you harvest, usually people take the leaves home. You take the leaves home, that is crop removal. And when you take these leaves home, instead of you to allow these leaves to decay on the farm, so that it can give back to the soil what the soil have given you, which has in turn resulted in a good yield. So as this process continues, the soil will continue losing its fertility. And there are different ways of which we can improve the soil fertility. Some of you are aware of this, and some of you might be hearing it for the very first time, or some must have seen other people doing different things to improve their soil fertility. One of such is through the use of natural means, maybe green manuring, uh, uh, compost formation to broadcast on the farm. All these are ways by which you can naturally enhance the soil fertility. There are other ways through which you can do that, especially through the use of chemical fertilizers. So if I'm to say to group these into two broad classes, we can use a chemical which is called inorganic, and we can also use organic fertilizer to improve the soil fertility. And I'm introducing to you today a company. Please, let's take the first slide, sir. The first slide. I'm introducing to you a company that produces organic fertilizer. Let me use the word quality organic fertilizer. It is called Amazing Organic Fertilizer. Amazing Organic Fertilizer is a product of Amaza Enterprise Company. As you can see on the slide, this company is located adjacent Hatch Camp, Boso Dam Road, Tudun Fulani, in Mina, Niger State. In Mina, Niger State. A lot has been said about fertilizer. And when people want to use fertilizers, depending on the choice of what they want to achieve on their farms. You must have seen a lot of farms or demonstration plots where people use organic. And usually the products, or let me say the farm produce harvested from organic farms, are usually expensive because of the quality and the relevance attached to it. There are lots of people that prefer going to the market to buy agricultural produce from certain producers because they know that these producers using organic products. And an example of such producers that produces organic product is Amaza Fertilizer. Amaza Organic Fertilizer. We've used their fertilizers over time, and it has proven to be of best quality. Amaza Organic Fertilizer, as the acronyms is used here, AOF, is made from highly processed biodegradable materials with a compost base. biodegradable material. I've been reliably informed that Dr. Aisha is back. So please, Dr. Aisha, if you can hear me, kindly unmute and speak. Dr. Aisha, can you hear me? Please unmute and speak.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Dr. Aisha? Okay, you are welcome. Um, uh, the floor is open for Dr. Aisha to take the session. Please, Dr. Aisha, kindly introduce yourself and take it up from here. Thank you very much. Dr. Aisha, kindly unmute and continue. You are still muted. Okay. Continue, Dr. Aisha. Please, if you can see Dr. Aisha, if you can see her, please kindly give me a thumbs up. I just want to know we are on the same page. Yes. Dr. Aisha, we can see you. You need to unmute. You need to unmute and speak. Yes, please. Somebody is raising up his hand. Please kindly speak. Do you have a contribution to make or something or is an observation? Please do so. It seems Dr. Aisha's network is very, very down. So let me just continue. Let me continue. Um, so, so, like I was rightly saying, most times we classify fertilizers into two broad classes. That is the organic and inorganic fertilizer. So, the type of fertilizer that is produced by Amazon Enterprise Company is the organic fertilizer. It's, why I said is a quality organic fertilizer is because this is something we've used, and the efficacy of that fertilizer is very, very high. Let me say the quality of the fertilizer is very, very high. So going forward, uh, amazing organic fertilizer, as the acronym is used, AOF. I think I would like to share my screen from here. I will appreciate if I share my screen from here. It seems, yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me share my screen. I would like to share my screen. Just a moment. Yes. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. The introduction. Amazing organic fertilizer is made from highly processed biodegradable material with a good compost base. Biodegradable material. Like I said, this session is going to be an interactive one. So when I ask a particular question and you think you have something to contribute, kindly raise up your hand, then I can call upon you. First of all, one of the key words here is biodegradable. So, and AOF as the acronym, Amazing Organic Fertilizer, is very rich in organic matter and contain carbon as part of its chemical makeup. And it is the carbon along with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that feeds the beneficial microbes and enable them to make nutrients available for plants in a naturally occurring biological process. So, biodegradable. From my agricultural knowledge of biodegradable, it implies that it is something that can be decomposed, something that can decay. So I don't know if someone have a different perspective. Kindly raise up your hand. Raise up your hand. If you know what biodegradable means, something that can decompose, can decay to provide the desired nutrient. Yes, Omoshoke, you raised up your hands. Unmute and speak.
Biodegradable means that the material naturally breaks down into smaller components thanks to maybe microorganisms like bacteria or maybe fungi or something. Thank you.
But Omoshoke, kindly take your meaning of biodegradable again.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Kindly take it again.
Okay, I said biodegradable means that the material, it naturally breaks down into smaller components thanks to microorganisms that are found in the soil, maybe such as bacteria and fungi.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Adara Mary. Adara Mary. Let's hear your
Good morning,
contribution.
sir.
Good morning. Lower your hand.
Yes, sir.
Mm.
What I understand by biodegradable, it refers to materials that can be broken down by natural processes,
Yes.
typically by microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, etc.
Okay. Mata Daladi, lower your hand and speak.
Okay, sir, good morning.
Kindly be
We are,
audible, please.
I say good morning.
Good morning.
We're almost, it's almost the same thing. Like it's more of a substance or object that is capable of being decomposed by bacteria or even living organisms, thereby
Yes.
avoiding pollution.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. And oh, Andrew just brought down his hand. I don't know. Maybe she have spoken. She have made the contribution you wanted to
Yes,
make.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, sir. Good morning. He has
Yeah.
just said what I wanted saying.
Okay.
Please.
Tell us what you want to say. Tell us what you want to say.
Okay, what I want to say is that it's biodegradable is more like any substance that's capable of being decomposed by bacteria
Yes.
or any living organisms, and
Okay.
also avoiding pollution.
Yeah.
Just to Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you. Let
Thank
me
you,
just
sir.
expatiate a little on biodegradable. From your elementary biology, bio means life. Degradable means broken down. So the living organism that acts on this is a living organism. Yes, that is what it means. Broken down by living organisms. Uh, now, uh, Amazon organic fertilizer is rich in organic matter and contains carbon as part of its chemical makeup. And it is the carbon, along with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, that feeds the beneficial microbes and enable them to make nutrients available for plants in a naturally occurring biological process. Advantage of using this particular product, amazing organic fertilizer over chemical fertilizer. I told you earlier that these fertilizers can be classified into two broad classes: the inorganic fertilizer, which is called the chemical fertilizer, and the organic fertilizer, which is sometimes called the natural fertilizer. And now we are looking at the advantage of using this particular product that is produced by a major enterprise company. One, positive effect on soil due to the organic matter present. AOF improves the soil structure/texture, allowing it to hold water longer. Underline the word longer. And increase the bacterial and fungal activity in the soil, thereby increasing the soil nutrients. There are two keywords there. It improves the water retention ability of the soil. That is this particular organic fertilizer. And it also increases the bacterial and fungal activity. For every soil, there are fungal and bacterial activity. But the natural organic fertilizer that is produced by Amazon Fertilizer Enterprise have the ability to increase the bacterial and fungal activity in the soil, thereby increasing the soil nutrients. Now, number two, synthetic fertilizer, on the other hand, deplete the soil of its nutrient, making it unproductive over time. You must have heard of soil acidity. Maybe over time you're using synthetic fertilizer, that's the chemical fertilizer. It might over time deplete your soil, increase, it might over time deplete your soil, which is a disadvantage. But the organic fertilizer, has the ability, to improve the water retention capacity of your soil. And this is something that when you use it over time, you can be using it every year. It does not have any negative effect on your farm. because the activity that brings about the decomposition is naturally done by biodegradable organisms. In a nutshell, there will be no saturation. There will be no saturation of nutrient on your farm. I hope you understand what I mean. There will be no saturation of nutrient on your farm. If you think you have any observation or anything that you want to add, can you raise up your hand? Can you raise up your hand? Nobody. Thank you. Let me proceed. The third point, overall health of the soil and plants is the main concern. So while synthetic chemical fertilizer may do a job today, AOF ensures the health of the soil tomorrow and beyond. What does this mean? You know, on the farm, people are always looking for something we call quick action, something that will work today. They don't care about tomorrow. So most times, for you to apply this type of fertilizer, you need adequate knowledge on how to apply it. The nutrient that will be made available to your plants when you use organic fertilizer will last the test of time. So in a nutshell, it is more advisable to use organic fertilizer than synthetic fertilizers because the health of the soil will be maintained. The health of the soil will be maintained. Unlike when you use chemical fertilizer, it's something that when you apply today, this nutrient will be available to the soil, but to the plant to uptake without taking cognizance of other factors. But when you use organic fertilizers, the agents of decomposition, in this case, fungi and bacteria, will naturally act on it and make this fertilizer or this nutrient available in the soil for the plant to uptake. Our number 3 point is organic fertilizer works slowly but steadily. It works slowly but steadily. This means that both the soil and the plant in it get the nutrition they need when they need it, with long-lasting residual effect. With long-lasting residual effect. Like I said, I described the chemical fertilizer as quick action. Let me paint a scenario. Let me tell you about a research that we did in Yelwa Doma of Nasarawa State. We were able to sample certain number of farmers, and these fertilizers was made available to them. They were sensitized on the way forward on how to use these particular fertilizers. But of course, you know, man in his own natural state prefers something we call quick action. You want results. You want to plant today and harvest tomorrow. Somewhere along the line, the number of farmers that were sampled We gave them these fertilizers and we educated them on the best way to use them. Some only had, they only listened to us, but they have in mind what they wanted to do. Because according to the directives that they are expected to apply these fertilizers, broadcast them on their farms, and allow the fertilizers to undergo the natural decomposition process, which usually takes between 2-3 weeks before planting, so that hopefully these particular nutrients, the agent of decomposition must have started, and when the plant starts germinating, the nutrient will be there waiting for the plant to absorb. But some of them decided to broadcast the same day they broadcasted. That was the same day they harrowed their field. That was the same day they planted. The few ones that got the best result out of what they were all looking for were those that were disappointed by the tractor hiring services. It's not like they wanted to follow the directives. They said, no, this is the way we are used to doing it. But because they were disappointed after broadcasting, they were disappointed. I learned that the tractor broke down. And somewhere along the line, before the tractor could come back, it took like 2 weeks. And during the third week, the tractor was able to get to their farm. At that time, ignorantly, the natural decomposition process have already taken place, or it has started. So when they harrowed and planted their farms, their fields, in fact, the result was very, very clear. Was very, very clear. Even at harvest, those that were disappointed happened to get the best yield compared to those that broadcasted that same day, harrowed the same day, and planted the same day. So this explains why it is clearly stated that the organic fertilizer works slowly but steadily. This means that both the soil and plant in it get the nutrition they need when they need it, with long-lasting residual effect. Let me take the word. Let's underline the word, long-lasting residual effect. It implies that the soil nutrient will be available on that soil for a very long time. The duration has not been measured. Don't ask me for how long. It has not been measured. But organic fertilizer have the ability to last longer than chemical fertilizer on the soil. This also implies that if you want to control leaching on the farm, use organic fertilizer. What is leaching? Somebody might ask, what is leaching? Let me throw the question open. Let me hear your perception of leaching. What is leaching? If you know what is leaching, raise up your hand. I know many of you know what is leaching. Raise up your hand. I will start calling names. Timothy, you have not said anything. Timothy, I will soon ask you what is leaching. Martha Danladi, please unmute and tell us what you understand by leaching.
Okay. It is the normal mechanism by which water-soluble compounds from soil or waste are washed out, sir. So back then in secondary school, I think we just used to say it's a washing away. So that's just what I understand by it.
Okay. But most times when people say washing away, you understand, we are not very, very correct when we say washing away. Because let's assume when nutrient erosion takes place, erosion takes place. Let me differentiate for you what I mean by nutrient erosion and leaching. When these nutrients are taken away from the plant, for me, I term it as nutrient erosion. It's taking away of nutrient away from the plant to a different destination. It can be far, very, very far. It can take it to someone else's land. You must have had different cases and scenarios where somebody applied fertilizer on his farm, whether chemical or organic, only for the next farm, for you to see the next farm very, very green. I believe you must have had cases like that. That is nutrient erosion. Okay, leaching. Leaching is when this nutrient goes beyond. It is on the soil. It is on the soil, but it has gone beyond the reach of the root. It is there. Nothing has taken it away, but it has gone beyond the reach of the root. The root cannot reach the soil, this particular nutrient. So it's automatically, it has leached down. So when you use organic fertilizer, especially the AOF, Ameza organic fertilizers, it has very high nutrient retention ability. It can last on that soil for 2 to 3 years. It can last on that soil for 2 to 3 years until probably you decide to add another one again. Most times people don't have the patience. When you have the patience, prepare your land preparation beforehand, broadcast it, allow it to decompose over time within 2 to 3 weeks before harrowing and planting. Or when you've already harrowed, broadcast this organic fertilizer on your farm and allow the natural decomposition process to take place. That is why from the beginning of our note, we say it is biodegradable. Living thing must act on it. And it's a process. You need time to allow this process to be initiated so that the desired nutrient can be made available in your soil for your crop to uptake. Synthetic fertilizer often overfeed the plant, do nothing for the soil, and can damage plants by burning them. Somebody might ask, this is something I want to add to the soil so that this soil or the plant can have food. By adding fertilizer on your soil, you are making food available for your crop so that your crop at the end of the cropping season will be able to respond back to you. It's like when somebody gives back to the society. You must have had a lot of ideas giving back to the society. When you give to the plant will give it back to you. Double, tripled. But how you give matters. How you respond to them matters. Timely response matters. You can see here that chemical fertilizer overfeed. When you overfeed a child, that does not mean that the child will be the strongest among his peers. We must have had a lot of adage that we must have used over time. When you overfeed somebody, but when you make the desired food available to your crop, you will not only feed your crop, but you'll be reducing waste to a greater extent. You will be reducing waste to a greater extent. Synthetic fertilizer often overfeed the plant, do nothing for the soil, and can damage plants by burning them. Let me take the word burning them. You know, when you apply fertilizer, synthetic, there's chemical fertilizer, at a period, or probably when you are expecting that, oh, this rain is going to be more, and you took your fertilizer to the farm, or maybe due to some act of laziness, the soil is not well moist, and you decided to say, okay, I'm going to apply this fertilizer on the farm. After all, there is a dark cloud, there's going to be rain, and eventually, if there is no rain, what will happen? What will happen to your crop? Most times, this crop get burnt. And when the crops are burnt, you don't expect anything from it. You can imagine we human beings, when we sustain any burn, we begin to treat. We begin to feel very, very uncomfortable. Same thing applies to plants. Some of these plants can even die. And we all know that agriculture is timely. Agriculture is timely. Time lost will never be regained in agriculture. Let's say you have 3 months of rainy season, like in some cases in some regions in Nigeria. When you lost 1 month, maybe you plant and at 3 weeks old, when your crops is like 3 weeks, it suffered burnt as a result of synthetic fertilizer application, and you want to start planting again, automatically you have lost a complete month. Agriculture waits for no one. It's up to us to plan with it and go with it. Number 2, sustainable and environmental friendly. Sustainable and environmental friendly. Ameza organic fertilizer is safe for the environment. Not just the environment, but it includes human beings and other animals. Synthetic fertilizers often run off into our waterways, harming marine life and water quality. As I'm talking to you now, let me give you another scenario from experience. You know, we have herbicides. We have 2 broad types of herbicides. We have the glyphosate. That is 2 broad types of herbicide. That is the selective and the non-selective herbicide. And in either of these classes, we have the glyphosate and the paraquat. Usually, the glyphosate is usually is the one that most people call the synthetic herbicide. It has the ability to go into the system. That's systematic herbicide. Systematic herbicide. It has the ability to go into the system of the plant of the weed and kill it down to the root. Glyphosate. But the paraquat is the one that is called the contact herbicide. Whatever it sees on the surface, it kills, ignoring the root. It kills by contact. In 2023, the herbicide regulatory body, after their research, came to a conclusion that paraquat be banned. Paraquat be banned. In fact, they gave all the herbicide manufacturing company, the agrochemicals company, the mandate to stop selling paraquat. Why? Because paraquat has a very, very high residual effect. It has the ability to stay in the soil for a longer period of time. It has the ability to seep into waterways, thereby polluting streams. You must have had cases of maybe water poisoning and things like that, especially animals. A lot of animals died in the bushes during grazing because they must have come in contact with field or grasses that are infected by this paraquat. So when it was banned, why was it banned? It was banned because of the residual effect it has and its ability to be able to flow into water stream, thereby polluting all the water sources. But based on AOF, Ameza Organic Fertilizers, it is safe for the environment, not just the environment, including humans and animals, compared to synthetic fertilizer, compared to chemical fertilizers, which has the ability to run off into our waterways, harming marine lives and water quality, and thereby reducing water quality. I believe that nobody here will want his or her animals to die as a result of drinking from polluting or from polluted water sources as a result of these agrochemicals. I can see 2 hands are up. I don't know. Mata Daladi. Oh, wait, Aisha Adamu. Mata, hold on. Aisha Adamu, your hand is up. Is there anything you want to say? Aisha Adamu? Kindly lower your hand and speak. Okay. Mata Daladi, if you can hear me, your hand is up.
Sorry, the mistake, sir.
Okay. But at this point, is there any question or any observation or any contribution? Like I said, this session is interactive. We talk, we learn from each other. There are things you know that I don't know, and there are things I might know practically that probably you have not seen. So when we come together, we'll learn from each other. That is why this session is an interactive one. If you have any contribution to make, yes, Emoishoke.
So I have a question.
Yes, speak.
The question is about the Ameza organic fertilizer. You mentioned that once it's applied, that it stays for up to, I think you said 1 to 2 years. I just wanted to clarify how long it stays in the soil for.
2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. When it is applied correctly, the nutrient will be made available to your plant during the first year. It will get to its peak in the second year. and it will start dropping in the third year. So it is expected that whatever quantity you are going to apply on your farm, if you are the type that want to apply every year, the quantity you apply or you broadcast on your farm in year one, let's assume you broadcasted maybe 100 bags of Ameza organic fertilizer. In year two, I don't expect you to apply 100 bags on that same field. Maybe probably you might apply lower than that, maybe 20, 30, but not up to a half. But in the third year, you are expected to step up on that same field. Remember, the first year, probably you applied 100 bags. Year two, you might apply 25. Year three, because law of diminishing return have started taking place. Year three, you step up to 50 bags. So you can see, unlike when you use chemical fertilizers, because it's like quick action, you apply this year, next year you still apply the same on the same field until probably when the soil will become saturated. That's why I said the disadvantage of using chemical fertilizer over the organic fertilizer is because organic fertilizer does not cause soil pollution. It doesn't cause saturation, because when the nutrient, the soil fertility gets to a point where it will be saturated, the biodegradable organism will naturally retard their activities of adding more of this nutrient to the soil. You already have it there. This thing is being done by nature. Nature balance it for you. Unlike you will be the one thinking of when to go and apply your chemical fertilizer, or when you look at it, you feel that today you need to go and apply, or you need to add little or things like that. But when you use organic fertilizers, especially the product, why I'm saying especially the product, because this is something we have tested and we have seen it to produce the desired result. I can see more hands. Let me look at it. Aisha, okay. Aisha, that probably is the previous one. Martha Daladi.
Okay.
You raised up.
Sir, yes. You made an example earlier on that in Duma that
Yes.
you gave some farmers the fertilizer, this Amicia.
Yes.
So you said some immediately went to apply it and all that. The only few people that got results from the crops are those that allow nature to take its course. You understand, and that's because they were disappointed by the tractors, farmers, or whatever. So my question here is,
Yes.
if you apply the Amasia fertilizer, how long are you supposed to wait before? Yes, or how long are you supposed to wait before you apply it, and then before you continue your farming?
2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks is advisable. 2 to 3 weeks is advisable. You must have seen some farmers, when you visit local context. When you visit local context, you will see some farmers don't really know why they are doing certain things. But life, in its fairness, have given them the knowledge. Some of them inherited this knowledge from their fathers over time. Some of them, you will notice certain heaps of organic manure. That one is called manure, organic manure, being, deposited on different portions of the farm. These farmers already know the areas where they are having challenges. They know it. So when they deposit it on the farm, maybe probably when you are passing by again, you might notice that they have broadcasted it before the onset of the rainy season. You will notice they have broadcasted it. Why? They don't really have your kind of knowledge, but because probably their fathers or their forefathers must have passed this knowledge to them that, look, before the onset of rainy season, go and broadcast this manure on your farm. Broadcast it for a certain period of time. So some of them even broadcast 1 month before the onset of the cropping season. And if you are privileged to visit these farms, probably before the onset or maybe immediately after the first rainfall, you will notice the action of maybe probably termites. What are these termites doing? They are breaking down. They are breaking down these organic substance. Aisha hands is raised. Aisha, if you can hear me, kindly unmute and speak. Aisha, we can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Dr. Aisha. Speak.
Okay. So, in addition to what you have said,
Yes.
amazing organic fertilizer, because I had a question that for how long does it stay in the soil? So you have answered that 2 to 3 years. So, but that doesn't mean that there isn't need for further application. You can add. It doesn't have any negative effect. The nutrient will not be too much for the plant to consume. That is one advantage of adding subsequently. You understand?
Yes, we're getting you.
Okay. And amazing organic fertilizer compared to other organic fertilizer. Amazing organic fertilizer, it has unique quality. Other organic fertilizers, if you use, you may experience weed over. You have to apply herbicide, controlling of the weed, control of insects. But in our own case, amazing organic fertilizer, you don't have to apply herbicides or insecticides to control the weed, either the weed or the weed. The reason being that it undergoes certain process. You mentioned something like maybe our forefathers used to use organic fertilizer, organic manure. The reason why we discourage the use of organic manure directly is because it hasn't undergone any process of weed killing, harmful microbial killing, and all that. It's only the beneficial microorganisms that act in our own case. While in the other one, both the beneficial and the harmful microorganisms may be present in organic manure. So that's what I want to add.
Yes.
So you can go ahead.
Yes, and just to take it up from here, in our elementary agriculture or biology, you must have heard of seed disperser. Seed disperser.
Yes.
That is the ability for one seed that is grown or maybe harvested in a particular area to find its way to a different area, a different unauthorized location. And one of these agents of seed dispersal, one is humans, activities of humans. Two, water runoff. Three, we have animals,
Animals.
especially maybe cows. We have bats. You must have you must have been walking somewhere, maybe in a location where there are bats, and maybe probably in the evening you just see a seed. A seed will fall down and maybe hit your head, and you just find out that it's a seed dropped by a bird. So this bird might probably have eaten this seed from location A, flown to location B. So what am I trying to say in a nutshell is this: organic manure, organic manure has the ability to hold on to weeds, seeds that are not needed or required in a particular field. And this particular field, this particular seed can be very, very harmful. But in the use of organic fertilizer, especially amazing organic fertilizers, it has been treated and found not to contain weed. So when you are applying it on your farm, you are not introducing a particular seed or a particular weed that is as a result of whatever biodegradable materials that has been used in the formulation of that particular organic fertilizer. You are not introducing it on your farm. So you be rest assured that when you are using Ameza organic fertilizer, you are not introducing wheat on your farm. Neither are you introducing any harmful organic, maybe any harmful organism on your farm. And again, in addition to that, let me also tell you the disadvantage of using organic manure. When you use organic manure, the soil nutrient in organic manure is not uniform. It's not uniform, but it's because it is not well blended. The soil nutrient in the use of organic manure is as a result of whatever organic materials that, or whatever grass, or whatever, you understand, whatever the animals have eaten is dependent on that. But when you use the organic fertilizer from Ameza, the nutrient or the soil fertility, let me use the word soil fertility, the fertility in that particular, or let me say the elements in that particular fertilizers are uniform. Because it is well treated and well blended to provide the desired soil fertility to your crop. I don't know if someone have a different language he or she can use to explain what I've just said, or is it understood? Yes, Aisha, please speak out.
Okay. In addition to what you have rightly said, amazing organic fertilizer has some inclusions. Because if you are using manure only, plants require certain nutrients like amino acids. We have, like, we human beings, we have 6 classes of food. Likewise, animals, there are certain things that animals need or require for their growth, proper growth. And then these plants, we try as much as possible to introduce the nutrients, amino acids, and other micronutrients that is beneficial or can enhance the growth of these plants, and remove certain things that is not required for the growth of the plants. And in addition, amazing organic fertilizer is also to get certificate. It's target specific. We try as much as possible to give each plant, like if we are dealing with tuber crops, we concentrate on what gives that, because tuber crops, they are the type of crop that need root formation. So we try as
Yes.
much as possible to introduce something that will give us that big tubers,
Yes.
like potato, yam, uh, this we call it in Hausa
Irish,
macaroni, you understand?
Irish potato.
I just
Yes.
yes. So if we are also dealing with legumes and all that, we try as much as possible to add or include something that will give us high yield. So that is what we do. And apart from organic fertilizer, we also have uh, amazing or certified bio, which is also a
Yes.
product of this fertilizer enterprise.
Mm.
So what we do, because most farmers are not are ignorant of the fact that biochar is also very essential for the growth of these plants and also for enrichment or detoxification of the soil, because long-term usage of the chemical fertilizer depletes the nutrient composition or nutrient content of the soil. So we introduce this fortified biochar to replenish or to bring back the lost glory of our plant. So we decided to include certain things that will be uh, beneficial to the soil and also to the plant at large.
Yes.
Yes.
So, so to add up to what the CEO of Amaza Fertilizer Enterprise have said in respect to the biochar, biochar acts as a power bank of nutrients. It acts as a power bank of nutrients. When the nutrient in the soil is 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 more, it attracts it and holds onto it, thereby releasing it back into the soil at the right time. Now, not just that, the biochar, the fortified biochar, also act as a buffer solution. It's just like when something is beginning to go higher beyond what is needed by the plant, without the action of the biodegradable microorganism, the fortified biochar also help in checking or controlling the soil acidity. You understand, or you agree with me that different soils have different types of biodegradable soil organisms. In a soil where these organisms are not as active as soil where they are active, these biochar step in to regulate the availability of the soil fertility. Before I go further to the next point, any question? Probably some of you might have question or a contribution. Any question before I go to the next point? It is assumed that there is no question. Let me take the next point. Ameza organic fertilizer do not run off as easily. If at all, according to Organic Trade Association, organic fertilizer also increases species biodiversity by 30% compared with synthetic fertilizer. What this implies is that it encourages the activity of these microorganisms. You know, these microorganisms are organisms that are available in the soil and need work to do. When you don't give them work to do, over time, they will look for places where they will have work to do. So when you apply Ameza organic fertilizers, it keeps the microorganisms in your field to be busy. It gives them work to do. In fact, it even have a way of attracting other microorganisms from other fields with less activities. With less activity, it attracts them to your field. And as they work on your field, knowingly or unknowingly, they add to the soil nutrients. They improve the soil nutrients. The next point, Ameza organic fertilizer, just as easy to apply, is just as easy to apply as their synthetic non-organic counterpart. You know, most times, somebody might ask, please, yeah, kindly mute, kindly mute. Hello, Dr. Ansha, kindly mute your system. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like yeah, just like other fertilizers, the chemical fertilizers, there are different modes of application. We have the broadcasting method of application. We have the site placement of application. In the use of organic fertilizer, the method of application is still the same. But in most cases, when you are applying before plowing your field, you need to broadcast. You need to broadcast for even distribution. And as it is, you already know areas. You already know areas where your soil needs you already know areas where your farm is not doing well. You know areas where your farm is not doing well. So when you want to broadcast, you concentrate on these areas more. But in the course of this training, we have demonstrated, and we will keep on demonstrating, the use of satellite imagery for us to be able to ascertain areas that needed more fertilizers and areas that need less fertilizers to minimize waste. Because most times people apply fertilizers on soil that probably don't need as much as what they are applying at that point in time. Ameza organic fertilizer is just as easy to apply as their synthetic and non-organic counterparts. Like I said, the process through which you apply the chemical fertilizers, these processes are still open for you to apply organic fertilizers. You can also apply through site placement. You can apply through site placement. And of course, when applying through site placement, you should take cognizance of the time for decomposition. That is why when you apply during harrowing or after harrowing and allowing this particular fertilizer to decompose, you are given enough time for the agent of decomposition to make this nutrient available in the soil for your plant to uptake. Number three. Number three. Number three. Reduce the need for pesticide. Reduce the need for pesticide. Amazon organic fertilizer allows farmers to reduce the need for pesticide by 50 to 75% and still providing results better than chemical fertilizer and pesticide alone. Our next point is Amazon organic fertilizers can reduce the need for the overall nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium requirement by plant than synthetic chemical fertilizer because of the reductions. Let me explain these reductions. We stated earlier here that this fertilizer have a highly residual effect. It can stay in the soil for up to 3 years. So, if you remember earlier, if you are listening, I said that during the first year, let's assume you apply 100 bags. In your second year, it will definitely drop. What you are expected to apply will drop to maybe probably 25 bags because it gets to its peak in your second year. Provided there is no runoff, maybe there is no flood, your farm is not swept away by flood, it can survive for up to 3 years. The nutrient will be available in that farm for up to 3 years. But on the third year, you will need to step up your fertilizer application, the quantity of fertilizer that you've applied on the third year. You can see the second year it has dropped to 50, to 25. The third year, you need to step it up to 50. You need to step it up to 50 bags. You can see from 100, 25, 50. Probably the third year, you need to drop further, maybe to 20. That is the reduction method we are talking about, because this nutrient will be available and you see your field will be green. Your field will be green. Whatever the prices are saying in respect to chemical fertilizer, whatever the importation ban on chemical fertilizer and things like that, is not going to affect you because you already have a cheaper source of fertilizer which you can use as substitute. The only thing that you need is the knowledge on how to apply it. It is not like the synthetic one. I keep on emphasizing that when you apply today, the nutrient will be available. Maybe it will dissolve. Some will even dissolve instantly on a well-moist soil. Organic fertilizer is different. You need to give it time for the right thing to take place. Now, advantages of amazing organic fertilizer over the organic fertilizers. Nutrient level. The nutrient level is very, very high because it is treated and well blended. It is very, very high. Many organic products produce inconsistent results. Yes, like I said, organic manures can be obtained from different fields, and This particular nutrient of whatever material that has been used differs. But when it is properly blended by Ameza organic fertilizers, it becomes uniform. So it's advisable for one, when you want to think, if you think going natural, think Ameza Fertilizer Enterprise as the solution to your organic fertilizer need. Many organic products produce inconsistent results. Ameza organic fertilizer product is industry vetted and is continuously subjected to analysis in the laboratory to ensure maintenance of standards. They are not just allowed to do whatever they want to do. They are being monitored to ensure best practices. Ameza organic fertilizer production is target specific, depending on the farmer's choice. Just the way we have NPK 20-10-10, we have NPK 27-13-13, we have NPK 20-10-5 plus sulfur, blah, blah, blah. They can also blend to suit whatever needs that you have. They can also blend to suit whatever needs that you have. And for whatever supply that you have, it can be branded to suit whatever needs. We have had cases where people from different walks of life, some probably want to give it to their farmers in their location, and they also want to blow their trumpet. Organic fertilizer is, Ameza organic fertilizer is open to that opportunity. Prior to this moment, a lot of you, most of you don't know about Ameza organic fertilizer. They are open to doing business with you. That is what this apprenticeship program is all about, to stir you up, put you where you can see the possibility
We cannot hear. What is going on?
The lecturer has disappeared though.
Hello, are you there? Yeah. So sorry. I had a little network challenge. I had a little network challenge, and I was disconnected from the meeting. Thank God I'm back. Yeah. So at what point did you lost me? Please, can somebody tell me? Omoshoke, can you tell me at what point you lost me? Hello, Omoshoke, are you there? Can somebody tell me at
Yeah.
what point you lost me? Omoshoke, please. Omoshoke.
We were still talking about the Ameza organic fertilizer and comparing it to other inorganic fertilizer and the advantages
Okay, okay,
the Ameza organic fertilizer has over the
okay,
inorganic parts.
okay. Can you still see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Hello?
Hello, yes,
Hello?
Dr. Aisha. Hello, Dr.
Okay.
Aisha, please.
We cannot see
Yeah,
your
Okay,
screen,
yes,
sir.
we stop at
okay,
advantages of amazing organic fertilizer over other organic fertilizers, which you mentioned
okay,
that the product is industry vetted, continuously subjected to analysis in the laboratory to ensure maintenance of standard. And also you mentioned that the product is
okay.
target
Thank you very
specific.
much.
Yes, okay. You can go ahead.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. Like I was saying before, I was disconnected by the network. My apologies for that. Many organic products produce inconsistent results, but Ameza organic fertilizer product is industry vetted and continuously subjected to analysis in the laboratory to ensure maintenance of standard. So, like I was saying, uh, for this product, they are not just allowed to do whatever they feel. Of course, for every organization, let's talk with Tesla, for instance. Last week we had a mommy. A mommy will still be coming back again for the conclusion of their their session. And today we are having Ameza fertilizer enterprise, organic fertilizer enterprise. Uh, they are not just allowed to do whatever they feel like doing, because today themselves, the business they are running, it is not a one-off thing. For them to maintain the business community or their customers, they must do all they could to ensuring that the product they lay out or they let go into the market are products that meet the minimum standard towards providing the desired soil nutrient of any farm. They are being monitored, they are being vetted, they are being regulated. We couldn't have introduced you to Ameza Fertilizer Enterprise if it's something we have not tested. If something we have not tested, there's no way we can introduce you to them. So I want to assure you that they themselves wouldn't want to lose even a customer. So whoever is engaging with them is somebody they will be willing to keep for the long time. Ameza Fertilizer, Organic Fertilizer Enterprise, believe in a long-term relationship, not the short time. No relationship you meet today, and in the next couple of hours, the friendship have evaporated. And of course, I believe that they will want to be surrounded by trustworthy businessmen and women. You should see yourself as a businessman. You should see yourself as a businesswoman in the making. Because at the end of this entire session, you would have acquired the desired knowledge. And this is something that Rural Farmers Hub can
Hello. Hello, please. I'm Dr. Aisha Adamu. Hello. I hope you are all hearing me. Engineer National is facing a network challenge. So I think we are to conclude because the time is already is not on our side. So we the time. Thank you. Hello, Martha. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, ma.
Like nobody's.
Yes,
Hello,
I
can you hear me?
doctor. Yes, I can hear you. Hello, ma. Hello? Hello?
Hello, Edu.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello, can you kindly speak, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so Engineer Nigel is no longer with us. He has been removed due to network issues. So we have reached the conclusion of this meeting. So I'm very sorry for not being able to join you from the beginning. So we request for time for further interaction from the management. Thank you.
Is